Here's another aspect as it relates to paying monetary incentives to your production people. And there's a lot of questions around, should we be focused on individual incentives or should we have team incentives? As a general rule of thumb, my answer to that question is both. There is a place for both types of incentives within a credit union. Here are a couple principles to keep in mind, however. Number one, as it relates to the individual incentive, you should only pay an individual incentive to those roles where the individual has a direct impact on their production. Okay? We call it line of sight. Does the employee have line of sight between what they're doing, their sales efforts, if you will, and the sales production that is resulting? If they do have line of sight, then an incentive is a good idea for them. A monetary incentive is a good idea for them, okay? If they don't, then this is an example of where a monetary incentive is not appropriate, and in many cases, to be perfectly honest, is a waste of money to be paying them a monetary incentive. All right, the second thing I'm going to mention has to do with team incentives. If you are going to pay a team incentive, there are two components to that. Number one is each employee still needs to be a contributor to the team's success. You see it a lot, maybe you've experienced it firsthand, where the team or even the organization as a whole, but let's keep this at a team level for right now, the team meets its goal, and therefore everybody on the team gets a payout, but Susie's the one that really did all the work, right? The other two or three people, they were just riding on her coattails. And in fact, one of them didn't do anything, but yet they all get an incentive. They all get basically the same incentive, okay? There are different ways to structure that. There are different ways to recognize Susie more than the stragglers. But fundamentally, we just need to make sure that everybody is pulling their weight, everybody is contributing to the team's success if there's going to be a team payout. The other part of that team piece of it is that the frequency of payout is really important. Now, this can also apply to incentives, and individuals, and we can do a different video on that. But as it relates to team, if I'm on a team that, let's say for a minute, we met our goal, our annual goal in July, but we're not going to get paid out until the end of the year, well, guess what, guys? I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of producing for the next 5 months. What's the incentive, the motivator, let's say, to keep the ball rolling, to keep producing at the same level that I did in the first 7 months of the year in the last 5, okay? So the frequency of payout is really important in both individual and team, but especially team. We've really got to pay that out at the time that we meet the goal. We've got to pay it out on preferably a quarterly type basis, all right? But there needs to be a frequent payout in order to keep the team focused and the team motivated.